Imam al-Laythi, but they didn't become famous. They did not become famous as these ulama became famous. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah knows the wisdom behind this. So here we are going to discuss about Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, talking about him, he is a genius. He's a genius. When we say genius, he lived for about 54 years. But the amount of work that he has done, the amount of things that he left, the legacy that he left behind is unimaginable. So when we are studying about Imam Shafi'i, you will be able to understand what exactly Imam Shafi'i, why is he known for, man with, having miracle on his tongue, hands, and in his knowledge. Imam Shafi'i was born in the year 150 Hijri, 150 Hijri. And if you remember, it is the same year Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah passed away. So the ulama, they say, Mata imamun wa wulida imam. Imam died, another imam was born. To an extent, one of his students, he says that, Rabi ibn Sulaiman, he says that Imam Shafi'i was born on the same day Imam Abu Hanifa passed away. SubhanAllah. Like how Imam Malik, Imam Anas, Imam Malik was born in the same year Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu passed away. SubhanAllah. So what do we understand by this is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates every year a mujaddid. When we say mujaddid, he is a reviver of the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, reviver of the deen, and that is Imam Shafi'i, according to Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Imam Ahmad, he says that the reviver of this zaman, this age is Imam Shafi'i. Somebody asked him, are you not a mujaddid? He says, no, wallahi, I'm not a mujaddid, but Imam Shafi'i is mujaddid. Who says this? Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, rahimahullah ta'ala. So Imam Shafi'i, he lived for about 54 years and he was born in the year 150 Hijri. And his original name was not Shafi'i. Shafi'i is his grandfather's name. What is his original name? Muhammad ibn Idris. Muhammad ibn Idris. Is it clear? This is his name. Muhammad ibn Idris ibn Shafi'i. Okay, that's his name. And if you see, his lineage connects with the lineage of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's actually from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abdul Manaf. The lineage of Rasulullah and the lineage of Shafi connects with the great grandfather Abdul Manaf. Abd Manaf. So he's from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So his grandfather Sa'ib, who is that? Sa'ib was from among the cousins of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and not only that, he fought in the Battle of Badr, not along with Muslims. He was a mushrik. His great grandfather, he was a mushrik. He fought against Muslim in the Battle of Badr, and after the Battle of Badr, he was caught as a prisoner of war. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the prisoner of war to free themselves. So he freed himself, and later he became Muslim. Later he became Muslim. Is it clear? So after that, he became one of the greatest companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not only greatest companions, he's from the family of Rasulullah, and he's from the cousins of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His great grandfather. Is it clear now? Now his father Idris, if we say, we know that family of Rasulullah, they live in Makkah. But if you see the Imam, his great grandfather Hashim, you must have known Hashim, they migrated to Palestine and to a place called Gaza. And what's happening in Gaza right now? May Allah protect us. May Allah protect them. Many people are killed. Many children are killed. May Allah's curse be upon Israel and it remain as a curse. And he was born in Gaza. He was born in Gaza. Imam Shafi'i was born in Gaza in a place called Ashkelon. In a place called Ashkelon. Ashkelon is one of the small city which was in Palestine, close to Gaza, a place in Gaza, and he was born there. Actually, Ashkelon is now, it is inside Gaza. It is inside Gaza, and this Gaza was known as Gaza to Hashim. Actually, Gaza to Hashim. So Hashim, he passed away. Great grandfather of Islam, he passed away there, and his Imam Shafi was born After Imam Shafi was born, his father Idris passed away when he was 2 years old. When he was 2 years old. And if you see, the one who brought him up in his entire life was his mother. His mother. His mother, subhanAllah. And if you talk about mother, Imam Shafi, rahimahullah, she migrated from Gaza to Mecca. Gaza to Mecca. And she wanted him to connect with his lineage, with the lineage of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And also she wanted him to connect with the ilm, the knowledge. And Imam Shafi'i, he says that my mother told me, ya Shafi'i, I want you to dedicate yourself to the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knowledge of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why I'm not getting married. That's why I'm not getting married. I want you to become an imam. And if you see, subhanallah, if you see the mother of Ibn Taymiyyah, and if you see Ibn Taymiyyah is a mother of, normally we'll find father's name, but Ibn Taymiyyah is known as the son of Taymiyyah, mother of, name is named, he's named as mother, on his mother. And if you see, Imam Ahmad was brought up by the mother. If you see, Imam Bukhari was brought up by his mother. Imam Shafi'i, Imam Malik, they all were brought up by his mother. So mother is a school, the first school. If the mother is right, yes, the children will be righteous. And you can see that Imam Ibn Bas, mother was brought up, she brought him up, subhanAllah. So mother is something, a valuable thing in the religion of Islam. And if the mother is right, yes, the children will reach to a level, subhanAllah. At the same time, we should not curse. The parents should not curse the children. The parents' curse is very, a dangerous toward the children. Imam Zarkashi, there was an Imam called Imam Zarkashi. And when he was small, what happened? He took a bird and he broke the leg of the bird. He broke the leg of the bird. His mother said that, may Allah break your leg. May Allah break your leg. Imam Zarkashi or Zamakshari, I do not exactly remember. I think Zamakshari. Okay, may Allah break your leg. And when he became youth or young man, or when he reached a certain age, he broke his leg to an extent his leg was amputated. And he says, I remember the dua of my mother. So that's why you got to be very careful. If you make good dua, your children will be prosperous. If you made bad dua, the children will not be prosperous. So these mothers, they used to make dua. And Imam Shafi's mother, she specifically said that, go and gain knowledge. I want to see you as Imam. And not only that, Imam Shafi'i is extremely poor. Extremely poor. We discussed Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik. They were extremely rich. The other two Imams, Imam Shafi'i and Imam Ahmad, they're extremely poor. And among them, Imam Shafi'i is very poor. To an extent, he didn't have any money to give, and his mother did not have any money to spend on him. And they used to live on the food that used to be given by the people around. So Imam Shafi'i, he goes to Makkah. Imam Shafi'i, he goes to Makkah, subhanAllah. He goes to Makkah. When he goes to Makkah, what was his age now? He was just 6 years old. He was just 6 years old. By 7 years, he memorized complete Quran. In 1 year, he memorized complete Quran, or less than that. Less than that. And he goes to one of the halakha. Halakha, when we say, nowadays we have colleges, universities, classes, and things like that. During those days, and one imam will be sitting and teaching. Another imam will be sitting and teaching another fun. Fun means another subject. So whatever subject you want to study, you can go and study from those the ulama. So Imam Shafi'i, he goes to Makkah and he sits there in one of the halakha, and he started gaining knowledge. So during this particular time, what was his age? He was just 6 years old. He was just 6 years old. And there are many other students in the class. And Imam Shafi was unnoticed. He was unnoticed by this teacher. So Imam Shafi goes back to his mother and says, Ya Ammi, I sit in the class, but I'm unnoticed. The Sheikh, he behaves with me as if I'm not there in the class. I'm not there in the class. What am I supposed to do? Imam's mother, she says him that, do not concentrate whether somebody is noticing you or not. Concentrate on the knowledge. Concentrate on the knowledge. So Imam Shafi goes back and he, whenever any task is given to the given by the teachers to the students, what Imam Shafi used to follow that. and he used to make them to follow what was given to them. So by this, the Sheikh started noticing him, and not only that, he appointed him as an assistant lecturer of him in young age, in the young age. Assistant lecturer in the sense not to give lectures, but to monitor the students and other things. At the same time, whatever the task is given to the students, Imam Shafi used to do everything. For example, memorizing Quran, and to an extent, when he was, in our last class, we mentioned that the first hadith book was written was Muwatta Imam Malik. So this Muwatta of Imam Malik rahimahullah ta'ala, since Imam Shafi was extremely poor, he didn't have money to buy the book, or the borrow the book. What he did, he memorized the entire Muwatta in 9 days. Entire Muwatta in 9 days. So talking about Imam Shafi, he had a photographic memory. Photographic memory. Whatever he sees, memorizes. Whenever he used to memorize Quran, now we have Quran, right? Quran is 2 pages, like the book, one page this side, another page this side. So what he used to do is, he used to cover the one page, and he used to look at another page. So whenever he looks at one page, he memorizes it. He goes to next page. Otherwise, if he looks at the same time, he memorizes. Most probably the verses will be will be jammed together. So he used to memorize one page, and get photographic memory. Subhanallah. We take, subhanallah, to memorize one hadith will take 1 week. We'll take 10 to memorize 10 hadith will take entire life, isn't it? And that too, if you memorize the hadith, we only know the bits and pieces of the hadith. Forget about the asanid, the sanad, the chain of the hadith. SubhanAllah, he memorized with the chain, with the hadith, within 9 days. This is the photographic memory of Imam Shafi. Now, in this halakha, what happened? Imam Shafi started, started getting noticed by the people around, and what his mother did was a beautiful thing. She sacrificed. Whenever you sacrifice something, right, there is always results. There's always results. If you do not sacrifice now, you'll not be able to reach a level. Okay. If you aspire more, you'll be able to reach to certain level. So Imam Shafi, his mother, she sent him. She sacrificed him. Imagine sacrificing a son, own child, the only child, for the sake of ilm. It's not easy. Nowadays, the mothers, they don't want to sacrifice the children. Don't go here, don't go there. Oh, my child went to school, my madrasa. Now itself, we have just an example here. Ali Bhai, he sent his son to the madrasa to memorize, Allah make him happy. And he was crying, and you want to take him back to home. Not even a week now, 5 days, right? So look at the challenge of the mothers during those times, sending the children for years together. And she sent Imam Shafi'i to a tribe called Hudayl. Hudayl is the tribe of Ibn Masud radiallahu anhu. And this Hudayl tribe is known for Arabic language. So the Arabic of those times was itself strong. Okay. And the Hudayl, they used to speak extremely pure Arabic, and Imam Shafi'i, he mastered the Arabic language. So whatever he touches, wherever he goes, he becomes a master. He becomes a master. So Imam Shafi'i mastered not only Arabic language, he mastered poetry. He mastered poetry. And not only poetry, he mastered hadith. And not only hadith, he mastered archery. So it's not about only ilm. Those scholars were even strong. Imam Shafi'i was a master in archery. Archery means, for example, if you give him 10 arrows and he shoots all the 10 arrows at one spot, at one target, without missing the target. And he was extremely good in that. And not only that, he was an extremely good horse rider. Horse rider. And not only that, Imam Shafi is a master of Ilmul Ansab. You know what is Ilmul Ansab? Ilmul Ansab is the knowledge of lineage. The knowledge of lineage. Tell me, which is a Sahabi who is good at having the knowledge of lineage? Which Sahabi? Abu Bakr radiallahu anh. Go to Abu Bakr radiallahu anh, name any person. He will tell the lineage which goes to, the lineage of that person, subhanAllah. And Imam Shafi, he knows the lineage, whose lineage what, and he was extremely good in that. And he was good in astronomy. And not only that, he was good at medicine also. He was good at medicine. Imam Shafi, he says that after the ilm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if Allah has given you ilm, okay, then second thing what you do is have medicine, the knowledge of medicine. Because the knowledge of ilm is a medicine for the soul. The knowledge of medicine is a medicine for the body. So both are beneficial. Both are beneficial, isn't it? So Imam Shafi says the one who gains knowledge. If I'm also telling, if I can become a doctor or something, I would be very happy. But I would tell all the students of knowledge, that once you gain knowledge about the medicine, so that it will be benefit for the people. That's why if you read the book, the what is the book by Ibn al-Qayyim? The huh? Yeah, no, Adwa, no, Adwa. The Prophet's medicine. Most of the Aqwal, you see the Imam Shafi is Aqwal in that. So he has mastered almost like, medicine also almost. But, he was engaged into knowledge, subhanAllah. So he was completely into the knowledge. So Imam Shafi, he mastered all these fields. Now, Imam Shafi, he reaches around 13 years old. 13, 14 years old. And he mastered Arabic language, he mastered poetry, he mastered hadith. And sometimes the ulama, it is mentioned in the history that Imam Shafi gets bored. What do you mean by get bored? Gets bored in the sense there's nothing for him to learn now. He learned everything. He learned everything. And he wants to learn more and more. So one of his teacher, his name is Muslim bin Khalid al-Zinji. Muslim Khalid al-Zinji, he was a mufti of Makkah. He was a mufti of Makkah, and he is actually from Africa. If you see most of the muftis in the Makkah, the first mufti was after Ibn Abbas radiallahu anh, was Ata ibn Abi Rabah. He's actually from Africa, Abyssinia. And Khalid al-Zinji, he's also from Africa. So people talk about black rights of blacks. But Islam has given the rights of black. These are the muftis of Makkah, subhanAllah. Nobody talks about this. And they say Islam is ruthless, Islam is this, Islam, differentiate between people and things like that. Look at into our own religion, man. Look at into your own religion. Okay. Islam has liberated the human values. Islam has, uh, has has brought back the humanity actually. And you're talking about humanity, and some people will talk about Islam or humanity. Subhanallah. There is no humanity without Islam. There is no humanity without Islam. Understand this very well. Anyways, so Khalid Zinji, he appoints Imam Shafi'i as a what? Mufti. Now, Imam Shafi becomes Mufti at the age of 15. At the age of 15. And sits in Masjid al-Haram. And he gives fatwas. He teaches fiqh. He teaches many things, subhanAllah. And Mufti himself appointed him as a Mufti at the age of 15. So many of us at the age of 15, what are we doing? Allah understand. We didn't even know what to do. No idea as to what to do. Eating, sleeping, getting up, troubling parents. That's what we do, right? But at the age of 15, subhanAllah, he became Mufti in Masjid al-Haram. Not only that, now talking about his knowledge, once Imam Shafi was sitting and teaching fiqh of fasting. Fiqh of fasting. I was very young. He didn't even reach the age of puberty. And in the month of Ramadan, he's teaching what? Fiqh of fasting. And at the same time, it was extremely hot. It was extremely hot. Imam Shafi drinking water and teaching fiqh of fasting here. Yeah, that too in the month of Ramadan. So people are like, yeah, Sheikh, you're teaching fiqh and you're not fasting and you're teaching fiqh. What is this? He said, I haven't reached the age of puberty yet. I haven't reached the age of puberty. So even before he reached the age of puberty, he used to touch, he's teaching about the fiqh of fasting. And one more thing, Imam Shafi always gets angry is nobody, he doesn't like somebody asking him about his age. He says, mind your own business. If somebody asks him, mind your own business. Some of the students ask, yeah, Sheikh, why do you say this? He says, if somebody comes to know about my knowledge, the elder will ridicule me. He's young. What do you gain knowledge from young ones? And young ones will say, he's of my age only. What's big deal? So I don't like to sit till my age. And this was the answer of even Imam Malik. Imam Malik, whenever questions been asked, Imam Malik gets angry. And he does not entertain questions which are of no use. So he gets angry. So Imam Shafi is following the way of the ulama. So he doesn't get it. So Imam Shafi was extremely young, and not only young, he looks young. He looks young. Young in the sense he had only few beard here and there. We have a beard, right? So he didn't have much of a beard. He had little like Abdullah, here. He had little very little beard, and he had a very young face actually. He had a very young face. So here During this process of teaching and learning process and teaching in Haram, one man, he changed this complete course of thinking. He says, yeah, Imam, you became master in Arabic. You became master in Hadith. You became master in poetry. It would be better if you learn fiqh. It would be better if you learn fiqh. That's when Imam Shafi'i goes and meets Imam Malik for the first time in Medina. He travels all the way from Makkah to Medina. He was very young, teenager. All the way he go to Medina. Now, before going to Medina, we know that Imam Shafi'i is famous now in Makkah. And his mother, look at the mother. She wants him to go and study wherever it's possible. So she goes to the governor of Makkah, asking him for a recommendation letter, recommending whom? Imam Malik to teach Imam Shafi'i. So this letter was taken along with Shafi'i, and this letter was given to the governor of Medina and asked him to personally go and meet Imam Malik, recommending that to teach Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala. And this is a beautiful incident, huh? Beautiful incident. So the governor of Medina and Imam Shafi'i, young boy, they go to Imam Malik. So Imam Malik's slave comes out, slave woman, she comes out and she asks, who are you? She says, I'm a governor. I came to meet Imam Malik. Please inform him. So this woman, she goes inside and she informs. She comes after some time. She says, Imam Malik is a little busy now. Governor has come home and she comes and says, Imam Malik is busy now. If you have any question, write the question in the paper and give it to him and he will answer it later. He will answer it later. And he says, no, I didn't come to ask question. Or if or tell him, he tells his slave, or tell him, or tell the governor, if he wants to come and sit in the halakat, let him know, he knows the timing of my durus, ask him to come and sit in durus. This is the response from Imam Malik. So the governor of, the governor of Medina, he before itself he told, if you ask me to move the mountain of Uhud, I will be ready to move the mountain of Uhud from this place to another place. But if you ask me to go and talk to Imam Malik, I'm not doing that. But somehow he was forced by the governor of Makkah to go and talk to Medina for the Imam, for the sake of Imam Shafi. He goes to his house, somehow he waits and he tells the slave, go and inform Imam Malik that, there is a letter from the governor of Makkah, and Imam Malik comes out. And Imam Malik reads. And what is in the letter? The recommendation letter, normally what it has? It will, like, this boy is Imam Shafi from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He came to gain knowledge, so give him an opportunity to gain knowledge. You know what Imam Malik does? He takes the paper, he throws it, and he says, "La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah." أو صار يؤخذ علم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بالوسيلة بالوسائل. He says this. He says, now this has it has the gaining knowledge, has it come to that level where it is where recommendation is required for that. Recommendation is required for that. So Imam Malik, he does not entertain. So to gain knowledge, we don't need recommendation from anyone. We don't need recommendation from anyone. Now Imam Shafi is looking all these things. He knows that something is messed up now. So he goes in front of Imam Malik. He says, "Yeah, Imam, I'm Muhammad ibn Idris. I'm from the lineage of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I've memorized Muwatta. I've come to gain knowledge from you. And not only that, the way he spoke, the way Imam Shafi'i spoke, it attracted Imam Malik because Imam Shafi'i, he was eloquent. He recites Quran very beautiful. To an extent, people used to come just to listen to the recitation of Imam Shafi'i. Not only that, whenever he speaks, people just stop and listen to him. He was so eloquent and he is so sweet when it comes to speaking. And the way he spoke, Imam Malik got impressed with this language, with this the eloquency in the language. And Imam Malik said, "Tell me, how serious are you with the knowledge?" So he says, yeah, Imam, as serious as a mother loses the child and she finds him back. So Imam Malik looks and he says, verily, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and stay away from committing sins. You're going to become something great in the future. Great in the future. And this is something to do with firasa. You know what is firasa? Firasa means looking at the face of a person and they will tell you what you are. The ulama, they had this firasa. The ulama, they had this farasa. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, Umar radiallahu anhu, they used to see the look at the face of the person, they'll say, he is so and so, he is such and such thing, he is the evil person, he is a bad person, he is a good person. They know it. And this is the insight that which is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Malik, he looks at Imam Shafi, he says, you are going to become a great scholar, so stay away from committing sins and be serious in gaining knowledge. So Imam Shafi, and he says, come next day and come and sit in the majlis. And Imam Shafi, he goes and sits in the majlis, and for about 6 years, for 6 years, he studies with Imam Malik, and Imam Malik says that in my lifetime, one of the best students is Imam Shafi'i. He's the best students. And not only that, Imam Malik did not, just consider him as a student. He considered him as one of the, what do you say, uh, kind of close friends, because the knowledge of Imam Shafi'i is kind of matching with the knowledge of Imam Malik. To an extent, subhanAllah, they used to differ in some of the fiqh masail, and sometimes Imam Malik used to agree with the fiqh of Imam Shafi. For example, once what happened, one person, he gave talaq to his wife. Wherever the talaq comes up, he gave talaq to his wife, saying that uh, if the moon is beautiful than you, the moon is beautiful than you, then there's talaq upon you. And he found the moon beautiful than his wife. So now he just used this, and he doesn't know whether talaq has happened or not. He goes to Imam Malik and says, "Yeah, Imam, I told that the moon is more beautiful. If the moon is more beautiful than my wife, talaq be will happen. So what am I supposed to do?" So Imam Malik says, "Yes, talaq has happened, but it is revocable. You go and you can take her back." Imam Shafi, he did not want to intervene there. He goes to him separately and says, verily, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, لَقَدْ خَلَقَنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. Verily, Allah has created the human beings in the best of the form, best of the creations. So human beings are from among the best of the creation. That means we are more beautiful than moon, sun, and any other thing actually. So your talaq is not valid. So he was very happy. So Imam Malik came to know about this. He says, yeah, Imam Shafi spoke the truth. So this is how they used to, you can understand the knowledge that they had, subhanAllah. So not only that, we're talking about firasa, talking about judging things. Imam Shafi and Imam Malik, they used to sit and discuss a lot of matters. They used to discuss a lot of matters. For example, they used to say, such and such person is having some family problems. Such and such person is having some financial problems. Such and such person is a carpenter or shepherd. So some of the students who are listening to the conversation of Imam Malik and Shafi, they want to go and check with the people if they have really had any problem. And they had this problem. Once what happened, when it comes to firasa, Imam Malik differed with Imam Shafi. Imam Malik said, no, this person is carpenter. Imam Shafi says, no, this person is a shepherd. This person is a shepherd. So one of the students goes to him and says, are you a shepherd or a carpenter? He says, once upon a time I was a shepherd, now I'm a carpenter. So they were correct, subhanAllah. And not only that, Imam Shafi'i, rahimahullah, when you talk about firasa, there are some people, they will look at your face, they will read. What are you thinking? What are you going to do? They know it. Imam Shafi is from among them. And he gained this knowledge. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This wisdom is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once what happened? He was in Masjid Haram, Imam Shafi. Look at the wisdom, subhanAllah. If Allah has given wisdom in this knowledge, this is nothing to do with the religion. But then what about the understanding of the fiqh? So Imam Shafi was along with the students, Rabi ibn Sulaiman and Al-Muzani, uh, Ismail al-Muzani, one of the great scholars. And he was along with the students sitting in the Masjid Haram. There was this man who was coming and checking some of the people in the Masjid Haram who was sleeping. Okay. And actually he was looking for his slave. The one whose slave ran away. So he was finding for the slave, he couldn't find the slave. Then Imam Shafi calls him, come here. Are you looking for a slave who is black? Are you looking for a slave whose eyes, there is some problem in his eyes? Okay. And he says, how do you know about all these things? Leave the matter. Go to such and such place. You will find him there. You will find him there. So students ask, yeah, he says, how do you know that he's looking for a slave? He's looking for a slave. And he says one thing. Whenever a slave runs, they don't have a house. So they go to masjid and settle. So he's looking for a person in the masjid. Second thing, he was checking only the black people. He was not seeking the brown or white complexion. He was looking only for the black people. So I understood that he's looking for somebody who is from the Africa. And number three, he was actually looking at the one side of the eyes. So I think there is some problem with this one eye. That's why I judged this and I told him it became correct. Look at the knowledge of Imam Shafi, subhanAllah. This is how they are. And not only the Imam Shafi, when he was on the deathbed, when he was on the deathbed, he told, he called students, and students are right in front of him. And he says, yeah, Al-Muzani, you are going to become famous. And in fact, Muzani is the one who took the Shafi madhab across the world. He wrote many books. He wrote many books. And he became famous in Egypt. And Rabi' bin Sulaiman, Imam Shafi told, you will die in chains. That means he will be chained. He'll be jailed. And he died in jail. And Abu Yaqub, one more student, he says, you are something he told, I don't remember now. So whatever he told became, the truth. SubhanAllah, this is the insight given to the Imam Shafi rahimahullah ta'ala. Talking about the humbleness of Imam Shafi and talking about taqwa, Imam Shafi, as we know that he memorized complete Quran. And not only memorized complete Quran, he used to recite complete Quran in a day. Once in a day, he used to recite completely. And when it comes to Ramadan, he used to recite 60 times, twice in a day. How many times we recite Quran? Not in one page, not even one page. So he recites the entire Quran beside the busy schedule of writing books and teaching and things like that. He used to recite the entire Quran in a day, subhanAllah. So 30 days or 29 days in a month, 29 to 30 times he used to recite the Quran. And Ramadan, twice, that is 60 times. That is 60 times. And whenever he recites Quran, it is known that Imam Shafi is known for his recitation. Known for his recitation. People love his recitation. They just come and listen to his recitation. Okay, and the Arabic language. So Imam Shafi, rahimahullah, he was very humble in the sense, we know that when you become a scholar, when you become a student of knowledge, you will find many students, many scholars coming to you and asking about masail, and if they differ with you, they will try to argue with you. So Imam Shafi, whenever before he starts any debate, what he used to do is he used to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, oh Allah, make this person right and make me wrong so that I can learn something from him. Normally, what we do, make me right and destroy him, isn't it? But he used to make dua the other way. And to an extent, not only that, the humbleness of Imam Shafi is that once one of his students of knowledge differed with him and he just walked away. He just walked away from the majlis. Imam Shafi goes running behind him to his house, holding his hand, saying that, it's a difference of opinion, but do not leave the brotherhood. Do not leave the brotherhood. SubhanAllah. This is how the scholars used to behave. Imam Shafi had difference with the Imam Malik, but they didn't have any problem. Imam Malik had difference with Imam Abu Hanifa, didn't have any problem. Imam Al-Awza'i had problem with Imam Abu Hanifa. To an extent, he wrote a book and he told people, do not go to Imam Abu Hanifa, he's very dangerous. But later when they met and problems were solved. So the scholars, they differed with each other, but they didn't go to an extent of refuting and boycotting with each other. Nowadays, what's happening? The ulama do not boycott each other. The common man, layman, they will boycott ulama and also they boycott the companions. That is a problem here nowadays. Anybody will come and tell you, no scholars. Anybody will come and tell you, do not gain knowledge from him. Anybody will come and tell you, don't do this, don't do that. To an extent, subhanAllah, Imam Shafi'i used to get extremely angry whenever he hears any student backbiting any scholar, subhanAllah. If anybody says that scholar is so and so, this scholar is so and so, he is such and such person, Imam Shafi gets angry and not only says this is one of the greatest crimes, that is backbiting a scholar. Backbiting a scholar. Ibn Taymiyyah says backbiting a scholar is like eating the poison, because poison if you will die. Allah says in the Quran, backbiting, it is like eating the flesh of your own brother. But if you eat the flesh of your own, you will not die. But poison will kill you. So backbiting the scholar is a poison. Why? Because you're backbiting him and that poison is spreading everywhere and you're destroying his honor. And you're stopping people from gaining knowledge from that person. This is very dangerous. So Imam Shafi rahimahullah ta'ala, he's very humble. He's very humble and he does not argue. His son, Imam Shafi, had two sons. he says that one of his sons, he says that I never heard my father, raising his voice in the debates. He's always humble. He's always humble. And I've seen personally in my life, my scholars, some of scholars, subhanAllah, they're very soft spoken. They will never ever raise voice. And as number of times that I've studied in Makkah and other places, I've never seen the scholars who are extremely humble talking bad about any other scholar. But you will find the layman talking about him in the internet here and there. This is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. We need to stay away from such kind of the behavior, inshallah ta'ala. So Imam Shafi, rahimahullah, when it comes about taqwa, when it comes to taqwa, he used to divide the night into three stages, into three. Number one, for studies. Number two, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number three, to sleep. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu used to do this because you have to sleep. You have to sleep. But Imam Nawawi, if you see, Imam Nawawi, for 2 years, it is mentioned that for 2 years, he never slept. He never laid his back down. And he lived only for 44 years. And the amount of work he left, subhanAllah, these people are actually Superman. Actually, Superman. Our Superman is innerwear will be outside the pant and he'll be flying. But our Superman's actually the real Superman are Shafi, Hanafi, Imam Abu Hanifa. These are the real actual Supermans. Actually, we need to become something like them, not the supernatural fictional stories that we see in the movies. These are the real Superman, inshallah ta'ala. So Imam Shafi rahimahullah ta'ala, he spends his night in worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in gaining knowledge. To an extent, one time what happened, he goes to the house of Imam Ahmed. Imam Ahmed says, see, Imam Shafi is coming and make good food, and he's the righteous man. He praises him too much. Who? Imam Ahmed. So his wife is like, wow, mashallah, since you are praising me, so this person will be having a great qualities. So uh, Imam Shafi comes, he stays one night in Imam Ahmed's house. And the entire night, what happens, there are a few things which happens is the food that is given to Imam Shafi, he eats completely. He eats completely. And number two, he did not sleep the entire night. Okay. And he was doing something. Number three, he didn't make wudu, he went for the Fajr Salah. So his wife of Imam Muhammad asked, you say Imam Shafi is this, that, you have praised him, but tell me, the food that you gave, normally scholars, what they do, they don't eat much, they eat only 1/3. But he ate completely. You say scholars are this, scholars are that, but he ate completely. And number two, with the same wudu, I don't know whether he made wudu or not, he was awake in the entire night, he didn't even sleep, he didn't even worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he went to the masjid now. So what kind of Imam is you're talking about? So Imam Ahmad, God, he wanted to clarify, he goes to Imam Ahmad, Imam Shafi and asks, what is the matter? Imam Shafi says, the food that you have given, the food that you gave me, I know it is halal. So I want to fill my stomach with halal food. The blessings from it. Number two, entire night I was thinking about one ayah. I deduced about 300 more fawaid from that ayah, and I was thinking about that. So I didn't sleep, so I was in the wudu. So the same wudu, I went to the masjid. Allah Muslim. So there is one thing what we need to understand is that you should not judge a person. What it looks like is not the same thing. What you think about. The eyes can cheat you. The eyes can cheat you. One of the greatest example what we have in our life is Isa alayhi salam. Isa alayhi salam, he saw a person, stealing. A person stealing. So he goes to him. You stole, right? The person, Wallahi, I didn't steal. Wallahi, I did not steal. Isa alayhi salam says, really, my eyes are wrong, and I believe in what you say because he took the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nowadays, if we say, Wallahi, I did not do this. No, you did this. Even if you have not seen it, no, you have done this, I know this. No, Yahi, I did not do it. See the proof. No. There's something. Your niya is wrong. Who are you sitting niya? They'll go to the niya also. The niya is where? In the heart. So they went inside the heart. Even the cardiologist cannot see the niya. Cardiologist cannot see the niya. Cardiologist will open the heart, right? He will see the heart also, right? But he can't see the niya. But this person has opened everything. He went inside the heart. He saw the niya and he started judging also. Subhanallah. That's what we do nowadays. Protect us. Do not judge niya. Do not see apparently and judge anyone, whatever it is. In the sense, do not assume things on people. Do not assume things on people. Imam Shafi says, he often quotes the hadith of Rasulullah that, whenever you find any aib in your brother, give 70 excuses, please. 70 excuses. Do not see aib in your brother, inshallah. This is Imam Shafi. And if you see scholars, subhanAllah, these are the scholars who live for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is the wisdom that is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the scholars. Once Imam Shafi was giving dars. So a student will come and ask a question, Shaitan is created from fire. So do you think the fire will affect with another fire in the Jahannam? Because Jahannam is fire. So will he get burned in the fire? Imam Shafi takes some sand and he throws on him. Some sand and throws on him. Did you get hurt or not? He says, yeah. Allah created from dust and the dust hurts you. Similarly, Allah created the shaitan from the fire and fire will hurt him. So it is, the kayfiyah is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the wisdom of Imam Shafi, rahimahullah ta'ala. Now talking about Imam Shafi, he went to Medina. He was studying with Imam Malik. And for about 6 years, until Imam Malik passed away, he studied from Imam Malik. And after that, he went to Iraq. And he started gaining knowledge from Abu Ayyub, one of the students of Imam Abu Hanifa, and Muhammad al-Hasan al-Shaybani, one of the greatest companions, the students of Imam Abu Hanifa. He started gaining knowledge from him. And not only gaining knowledge from him, Imam Shafi, he started loving him so much. And now there is one thing that you have to keep in mind. Imam Shafi was with Ahlul Hadith, the people of Hadith. Always Hadith. Imam Malik is Hadith in the Makkah Hadith, and now he goes to all the way to Iraq. In Iraq, Hadith are less, but there are opinions, more of opinions. Ahlul Roy. Now he is finding lot of, what he said. He's gaining a lot of knowledge. Imam Muhammad al-Hasan al-Shaybani, we know that Imam Abu Hanifa sent him to gain knowledge from Imam Malik. So he's a mixture of Rai and Hadith. So now he goes to him and he started gaining knowledge from him. And to an extent, he started gaining a lot of knowledge, a lot of opinions. And because of these opinions and because of the Hadith and opinions, Imam Shafi, rahimahullah, he writes a book called Al-Umm. Al-Umm. What is this book, Al-Umm? This Al-Umm is the first book which he wrote. The book talks about, the opinions of Imam Abu Hanifa, opinions of some of the scholars, and he started refuting those opinions with the Hadith and with his own understanding. This is one of the greatest books. And another book he writes, Ar-Risala. And Imam Ahmad, he says that the master, the father of fiqh is Imam Shafi'i. He wrote Usul al-Fiqh. We know that the master of fiqh is Imam Abu Hanifa. The master of hadith is Imam Malik. And now he is a master of fiqh and hadith. And he wrote a book. He wrote a usul, the foundation. That foundation is known as Usul al-Fiqh. What is Usul al-Fiqh? Nobody can give fatwa. Okay? Unless you study Usul al-Fiqh. Only after studying Usul al-Fiqh, you will be able to give fatwa. What is Usul al-Fiqh? It talks about Am, it talks about Khas, it talks about Muqayyad, it talks about Mutlaq, it talks about, all the Usul, Ahkam al-Wadi'iyya, Ahkam al-Takhlifiyya, a lot of things. It's a big science actually. And Imam Shafi, he writes this book, and this book became so famous, and many other scholars started studying that, and they started basing their opinions and the fatwas based on the fiqh that is laid by Imam Shafi rahimahullah. And the name of that book is Ar-Risala. Ar-Risala. Is it clear? So Al-Umm and Ar-Risala are the two books which he wrote, and these books became famous. And until now, Ar-Risala mainly consists of the aqwal of madahibs, the different aqwal of madahibs, and he comes up with the qawl, he comes up with the foundation, and he gives opinion on that. So he wrote this book, and scholars, they studied this book. And Imam Ahmad, he says that we are all children of Imam Shafi'i when it comes to fiqh. And Imam Ahmad, son of Imam Ahmad, asked, why do you keep making dua for Imam Ahmad? He says, the son of Imam Ahmad asks Imam Ahmad, why do you keep making dua for Imam Shafi rahimahullah? Imam Ahmad, he says, Imam Shafi is like a son for us, son. Sun is not the sun. Sun, Shams for us. It gives light. It gives light. The sun goes away, there won't be light for us. So Imam Shafi'i is a sun for us, like a shams for us. He gave us the light of the Quran and Sunnah. Quran and Sunnah. So this is something that we need to keep in the mind, inshallah. Imam Shafi'i had a great level of knowledge and great level of name among the scholars. Imam Malik, Imam Ahmad, and Imam Malik was a teacher. Imam Ahmad was a student of Imam Shafi'i. Imam Shafi'i. Now talking about Iraq, after Iraq, he goes to Najran. He goes to Najran. You know Najran? Najran is close to Yemen. There is something happened actually. Some strange incidents happened. The incident is that Imam Shafi was accused of being a Shia by the governor of Najran. And there were about 8 to 9 people who were caught. In that, 8 people were beheaded. 8 people were beheaded. And he was sent to Baghdad. He was sent to Baghdad as a prisoner to the court of Harun al-Rashid. Harun al-Rashid. So Imam Shafi goes to the court of Harun al-Rashid, and this was after a few years. Okay, after a few years, and he says, "I am from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you're also from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I am this, I am that, I am this," and he started eloquently speaking, and he proved his innocence. And not only that, Imam Muhammad al-Hasan al-Shaybani was there at the time in Baghdad. He says, "The Shafi is one of my students, one of my companions, and he's from among the greatest scholars." That's when he was released. That's when he was released. When he was released, Harun al-Rashid goes and gives him about 50,000 dirhams. It's 50,000 dirham. Okay, dinar, dirham, the gold coins, which is dinar, 50,000 dinar, gold coins. So Imam Shafi, what he does, before he goes out of the court of the palace, he gives out this 50,000 dinar to poor people. And the guard of the palace, he goes and tells Harun Rashid that, he gave away all the money. So he gives another 50,000 dinar to the guard, saying that, go and give him, say that this is from you, this is from you. So he goes to Imam Shafi and says, take this money, this is from my side. He says, when I didn't accept from the Khalifa, do you think I'll accept from you? And he rejects it. That means Imam Shafi, this scholar, they do not want to be dependent upon any ruler or anybody. And this particular time of Harun Rashid, Imam Shafi, he says, why don't you become Qadi here? And Harun Rashid wanted him to be there. And he lived with Muhammad al-Shaybani, al-Hasan al-Shaybani, with him for about 3 years in his house. And they gained a lot of knowledge with each other, and they spread knowledge. Then he goes back to Makkah. After going back to Makkah, he meets Imam Ahmad. Imam Ahmad meets Imam Shafi'i. Imam Ahmad studies Muwatta from Imam Shafi'i. And he says that, Imam Ahmad says that I studied this Muwatta from about 40 scholars. Muwatta from 40 scholars, but I did not get benefit except from Imam Shafi'i. So he got a lot of benefit from Imam Shafi'i, and Imam Shafi'i stays there for a few years. Again, he goes back to Baghdad, and he stays for 5 years. During this particular period of time, Harun Rashid passed away, and there was this new fitna which was in Baghdad, in Iraq, the fitna of Mu'tazila. You know Mu'tazila, right? Mu'tazila is one of the sect. They believe that the Quran is created. It is not the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is created. And this fitna was too much. Many scholars were killed. Many scholars were jailed. And that became a law. And at that particular time, the son of Harun Rashid, Mamun, was a Khalifa. And he was of this opinion that the Quran is created, and he supported this opinion. And in his court, Bishr al-Marisi and Dawood and many other people who were the courtsmen, in the court, and they used to take this opinion. And not only that, to an extent, in the masjid, it is written that the Quran is not kalam Allah, lakinnahu makhluq, but it is the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this fitna was going on, and Imam Ahmad is fighting against it. Imam Shafi comes at the same time, and people ask him, Imam would ask him, what do you say about Quran? He says, Torah is created. He says, Torah, Injil, Zabur, Quran is created. He says, who said this? Imam Shafi. Imam Shafi did not say that these 4 books are created. He says, this finger is created. This finger is created. This finger is created. This finger is created. He wanted to get away from that fitna. He made the statement. He just got away. But Imam Ahmad, he didn't, inshallah, we'll be studying about Imam Ahmad's challenges in the next week, about, how he challenged this the Mu'tazila and other things in next week, inshallah. So Imam Shafi, he stayed in Makkah, in Baghdad for 5 years, and he became the one of the teacher of Imam Ahmed. And Imam Ahmed, he says that, whenever I do not find any masail, any results in the hadith, then I take the opinion of Imam Shafi'i, Imam Shafi'i. So this is how Imam Shafi'i, he led his life for about 54 years. He lived only for 54 years, and he was born in the 150 Hijri, and he passed away in 204. Before he passed away, he moved to Egypt. Before he passed away, he moved to Egypt. When he moved to Egypt, one of the greatest teachers of Imam Shafi'i was a female, who is that Nafisa bint Hasan. Nafisa bint Hasan. She is also from the progeny of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, great granddaughter, great granddaughter of Hassan radiallahu anh, and she was one of the greatest scholars in fiqh and hadith. So what Imam Shafi did, he reviewed these two books, Al and Risala, from her in Egypt. And in the Egypt, Imam Shafi, he passed away. He passed away, and before he passed away, there was lot of things happened. There is something called the ta'assub. Ta'assub is asabiya. The political, not political stuff, the extremism of the students of the madhabs. So the students of Imam Malik madhab, they went and bet Imam Shafi'i, and he became unconscious, and that also one of the reasons which led him to, he was actually sick, and because of beating Imam Shafi to an extent, he became unconscious. That serious injuries also led increase in his disease, and because of that, Imam Shafi passed away. And you see, subhanallah, this is a problem, nowadays. If you are following a certain scholar, and you don't want to differ with another scholar, we are not differing. When we say differing is actually a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Differing is actually a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't differ when it comes to the matters of Aqidah. We only differ when it comes to the matters of fiqh. And not only fiqh in the sense, not major things. There are very minute things actually. When it comes to most of the fiqh matters, when it comes to obligatory, when it comes to wajibat, most of the things are same. Most of the things are same. You don't differ. When it comes to Aqidah, we never differ. This is a matter, inshallah ta'ala. So here, during his last days, he reviewed this book with Nafisa, rahimahullah, and he passed away. When he passed away, people performed Salatul Janaza, and in riwayat it is mentioned that his body was taken to the house of Nafisa. Nafisa herself read another Salatul Janaza separately for him. Because he used to revere her too much. And later he was buried in Baghdad, and he was buried just beside the grave of Imam al-Laythi. Imam al-Laythi. And Imam al-Laythi was one of the greatest scholars of those times, and Imam Shafi wanted to study from him, but he couldn't study from him because of circumstances. But he was buried beside the grave of Imam al-Laythi, and he was buried in Egypt. Now, talking about his students, Imam al-Muzani, Imam Abu Yaqub, Imam al-Rabi Sulaiman, and his students, these are the main ones who spread the madhab of Shafi'iyya in Africa, in Egypt, in south of Africa, and some of the southern parts of India. If you go to Kerala, most of the people, they follow Shafi madhab. And these people, they follow it. And if you go to Malaysia, Indonesia, they just follow Imam Shafi. They don't follow anything else. Okay, they just follow Imam Shafi. Not only that, Imam Ibn Hajar Asqalani, Imam Dawud al-Dhahiri. You know who Dawud al-Dhahiri? Imam Dawud al-Dhahiri was one among the students of Imam Shafi. Later he left Imam Shafi, and he started new madhab, Dhahiriya madhab. We will not going in detail about that, inshallah. Imam Bukhari, not Bukhari, Imam An-Nawawi, Imam Ibn Hajar, and many other scholars. They are from the students of Imam Ibn Kathir, Imam al-Bayhaqi. These are the scholars, and these are the people who follows the madhab of Imam Shafi, rahimahullah ta'ala. So his madhab is spread in Egypt, Sham, some of the places in Africa and southern parts of India, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Indonesia. His madhab was spread, and he was known as a father of usul al-fiqh. And not only the Muslims, even the non-Muslims, they took the fiqh matters of Islam, how to deduce laws, and they used the fiqh to deduce their own, legal system in different countries by the non-Muslims, subhanAllah. So Imam Shafi lived for about 54 years, and he passed away. This is the legacy that he led and he left on this face of the earth. And this is one of the greatest legacies. And you see his student, Imam Ahmad, become another Imam Sunnah. Inshallah ta'ala, we will be discussing about him in the next week, inshallah ta'ala. Any questions? We will take the questions now. If there are any questions, you can use the mic to ask me, otherwise you can text.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Once again, wa alaikum assalam. Yes.
The question has to be on the same topic, or
No, you can ask me even out of the topic, not a problem, inshallah.
okay, the topic is arrogance. I would like to know what are the qualities of arrogance which we generally tend to not give much attention to, generally. I know there is the hadith that not accepting the truth, something like that. Then being I got to know by some kind of certain kind of anger could be from certain kind, not all. Then being judgmental and all that. So I would like to know what are the signs of arrogance we could have, so which we tend to not give much attention to.
Yeah, see, this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Rasulullah says, لا تدخل الجنة لا تدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من كبر. So a person will not enter Jannah even if he is having an atom of weight of kibr. So one of the Sahabi asked Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that الرجل أن يحب نعله أو ثوبه حسنة. So a person who loves to wear good shoes, loves to wear good clothes, so is it from the kibr? So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he replies that al-kibru batul haqqi wa ghamtun nas. Kibr is something that, arrogance is something which destroys and looks which he does not accept the truth, and where he looks down upon the people. So any arrogance when it comes to ibadah, when it comes to anything, your wealth, when it comes to anything, that the moment you look down upon another person, for example, Allah has given you beauty, and you look down upon a person who is not beautiful, okay, and you look down upon a person because of the wealth, you look down upon a person because of the knowledge, you look down upon a person because of even your ibadah, you do a lot of ibadah, you look down upon a person, hey, he is a useless person, this is all arrogance, and this is absolutely not permissible in the religion of Islam, and Allah hates it. And the arrogance that we are talking about, arrogance even comes with ibadah. You know that, for example, a person wearing the pants above the ankle looks down upon a person who wears pants below the ankle because of the arrogance, because of the kibr in him. Allah will destroy this person's amal. A person who offers tahajjud, he goes to the masjid and he says, these people, useless, they don't even get up in the night. I'm the one who worships Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will destroy his amal. Allah will not accept it. Allah will not accept it. The other one is rejecting the truth, rejecting whatever Allah and Rasul said. And whenever somebody comes to you, no matter who it is, a young person, elderly person, not knowledgeable, or anyone comes to him and says what you said is wrong, if it is right, then you need to accept it. This is also from from against the arrogance, inshallah. One of the things that destroyed um, the shaitan, okay, it is not the worship. The things that destroyed the shaitan is arrogance. He knows and he only worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did not commit shirk with Allah. But he disobeyed Allah because of the arrogance. He says, this Adam is better than, I'm better than this Adam. You created from the sand. And you created me from the fire. خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. So I'm better than him. So he rejected. So all his amal went into vain. So the arrogance is generally, you do not accept any truth from anyone, and you show it out of in your actions, in your tongue, while speaking, these things will render your amal and your iman. So we got to be very careful when it comes to these matters. Inshallah, ta'ala, this arrogance, it's a big topic actually. I just briefed you up. So what arrogance is, we need to avoid being ujab. You know what is ujab? Ujab is having self, what do you say, is self-amazement. Self-amazement is something which destroys your amal. So I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. This will destroy you. So always be humble to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always be humble like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One person, he went to Imam Shafi and he says, "Ya Imam, you are this, you are that, you are such a horrible human being." And Imam Shafi says, "Ya Allah, in ma kana," he says, whatever he said is, if it is truth, correct me and let me rectify and forgive me. But what if he has told wrong? Allah forgive him and accept his repentance. So look at this: the one who comes to you and rebuke you, insult you, dishonor you. What you do is silence is the best thing. Just to walk away from that place, and Allah Subhanahu wa Taala will replace you. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala will replace you. And not replace you, sorry. Allah will put you in a better situation. I've seen personally in my life, Wallahi al-Azim, I'm not going in detail. Wherever I was ridiculed and dishonored, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has always placed me above them. And I've seen that, alhamdulillah. I've seen this in the lives of the people. And do not mock at others. Do not be arrogant. Do not mock at others' sins. Do not mock at others' private matters. Imam Shafi, he says, keep your eyes from the eyes of the people and keep your tongue from the awratun nas, that from the affairs of the people. Do not speak about the affairs of the people. Okay, when you speak about the affairs of the people, somebody else will speak about your affairs. When you are looking into their affairs, they will look into your affairs. So what you do will get back to you. Okay, so Allah will deal with you the way you deal with Allah. If you deal with people with arrogance, you will be dealt with arrogance by the creation. If you deal with the creation with the mercy, and people will deal with you with mercy, and Allah, the merciful, will deal with you with mercy, inshallah. The arrogance is something which starts like inconspicuously. It's inconspicuous, it is very mild, and it becomes big, and this will destroy. And to an extent, it will take away your religion. It will take away the honor. It takes away your taqwa. It takes away you from the religion of Islam, and it takes away your dignity completely. So arrogance is something which we need to stay away, inshallah. Hope it's clear. It's a very brief answer. It's a complete lecture by together, inshallah. We'll take one
Yes.
question here, and yeah, that question which you asked, no? What is it? No, no, no. The example which I told you is Imam Shafi. The question is Tawrat created? No, nothing is created by Allah. It is a speech of Allah. Tawrat is a speech of Allah. Injil, Zabur, Quran, all a speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Shafi was very smart to avoid the fitna of Mu'tazila and the Mamun. What he said is, this is Tawrat. He said Tawrat created. Injil created. Zabur created. Quran created. What does it mean? He meant that this finger is created by Allah. This finger is created by Allah. That's what he meant. Actually, this belief of creation, the Quran is created. Actually, this came from one of the Jew. You know who it is? This was actually used by Labid ibn Asim. Labid ibn Asim is the one who did magic on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He used to say that the book of Jews, what is it? Torah. He says that Torah is the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not the speech of Allah. He should differ from the Jews. And one of his slaves, he learned this, and this knowledge was transmitted to the next generation. And Ma'abad al-Juhayni, and there is a couple of guys who went and gained this knowledge from him, and this knowledge was passed. So a Jew is the one who first started this thing called the books are the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you see, the Jews are the worst human beings on the face of the earth. Who changed the Christianity? It was a Jew. Paul was a Christian. He was a Jew. He became Christian, then he brought this Trinity. If you see the Shia, The Shia. Who was the father of Shia? Abdullah bin Sabah. What was he? He was a Jew before. He became Muslim, but he's a munafiq. He became Muslim, he's a munafiq, and he started telling about Ali is Allah and he started the Shia. If you see the history, the Jews are one of the worst human beings on the face of the earth. The Jews. And inshallah, we'll have a lecture on how the Jews changed the dimension of many things. I just gave three examples for you. It's by lecture altogether. Inshallah, we'll have a separate session on this. Yeah. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Just a moment. Just a moment. Allahu Alam, I don't know about this. I don't know. See, Rasul told, shave, trim your mustache and pluck your armpit, the hair of, what do you say? The armpit hair, right? So pluck. So many people tried, plucking and they started bleeding. Even I tried once. It was very painful, so I didn't use that. It is mustahab. It is mustahab, but it is not wajib. It is not wajib. Some people will pluck it. So they're used to it. They're used to it. But shaving, not a problem, inshallah. We'll take question here. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam. Yes.
Ustad, I have a question and a doubt. You mentioned that Nafisa, she performed the namaz-e-janaza. So my question is, did she lead the namaz-e-janaza prayer or she was part of it?
Very nice question. She actually led by herself for herself. I mean, sorry, for Imam Shafi separately. She didn't lead the Salatul Janaza for anybody, but the people took the body of Imam Shafi to her because people know that Imam Shafi revered her too much. So she separately prayed Salatul Janaza for him. That's it, inshallah. Is it clear?
Okay, so alone. She was alone. Right?
The answer? Sorry?
She was alone. She was alone.
She was alone. She was alone, yes. She was alone.
Okay. However, then I have a question. This Imam Shafi was a non-mahram for her, right?
Yeah. No
so
problem.
Then how can
for example, Imam Shafi non-mahram. So, for example, if I die, if somebody else die in my family who's a woman, okay, if the body is taken to the masjid and the Imam is non-mahram, so salah is valid or not? Huh?
Right.
Right,
For
salah is valid,
women,
right? There is no condition of
but
non-mahram or mahram. Rasulullah performed Salatul Janazah for many women. Is
Yes.
non-mahram, right?
So
So it's accepted. Yeah.
for women also the same thing applies, same like men.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, inshallah. It's clear now?
And yes, it's clear. And another question I had regarding this, regarding the janaza prayer, when my brother passed away 3 years ago, the masjid people, they did not allow us, the women, to be part of the janaza prayer. So, however, it is allowed for women to be part of janaza prayer, right? Because I had read a hadith where Salma Raziallahu Anha had mentioned that we were allowed to pray the janaza. However, we were not allowed to follow the funeral procession to the graveyard.
Yes.
It was a Muslim hadith.
Yeah, yes. Yes. First of all, there are many issues
Mhm.
on this matter. Can a woman perform Salatul Janazah or not? First of all, may Allah have mercy upon your brother and give him Jannatul Firdaus and unite you along with your brother in Jannah, inshallah. Number one. Number two,
Amen.
The question here is that, see, in certain places, certain countries, certain villages or cities, they don't allow the woman to go to the masjid. Okay? They don't allow the woman. So Salatul Janazah is already performed upon him, alhamdulillah. So Salatul Janazah is performed. And Salatul Janazah itself is for the kifaya, it's not for the ain. That means it is not obligatory upon every single Muslim. So if a group of Muslims does, another group of Muslims are exempted from performing it. Is it clear now? That is for the ain, for the kifaya. So the job is done. Second thing is that if you can perform again on him, is a question. That's the question, right? If we can perform again on him, and
Yes.
why the women yeah, you can. It's allowed, absolutely allowed to perform. And how to perform? How to perform? Can you go to graveyard? That's another issue. There is ikhtilaf among the scholars. Can women go to the graveyard or not? The ulama, they say, some of the ulama, they say the women are not allowed to go to the graveyard. Some of the ulama, they say you're allowed to go to the graveyard. I am of the opinion that women are allowed to go to the graveyard with the conditions. What are the conditions? They will not go and scream and cry. And women are emotional generally. Emotional are men also, but we control our emotions. Women show their emotions. That's the difference. So when you go to the grave, you'll not be in senses. That's what normally happens. With this condition, women are allowed to go to the graveyard. My father passed away. My mother wanted to go and visit my father's grave. Recently, he passed away, right? So I told it's not the time for my mother to go because it takes some time for her to get out of this realm of the what do you say, that pain. So once after I can probably take her, not right now. If she goes there, probably she gets fainted and it become a problem. In that case, inshallah, you can go to the graveyard. You can even perform salat. So with salatul janaza, it is not restricted only for men. It even the women can perform, and it's salatul janaza can be performed even in the graveyard, even in the graveyard, because salatul janaza is not the salah of ruku and sujud. It is the dua for the mayyit. It is the dua for the mayyit. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed salatul janaza for that woman who used to live in the masjid. The woman who used to live in the masjid, the one who cleans the masjid al-Nabawi. And when she passed away, Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they performed salatul janaza, they went and buried her. So when Rasulullah did not find her for many days, he asked, where is this girl? Then Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, we didn't want to disturb you. She passed away. We buried her in the Baqi. So Rasulullah goes and performs Salatul Janazah for her separately in Baqi. And this was the only Salatul Janazah performed by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Baqi for her. So if somebody can want to do it, Mr. absolutely can go and do it, inshallah ta'ala. But I would recommend not to do it because it might lead to fitna, it might lead to some other, ikhtilafat and problems or fasad in the city or in a village. So I would tell you not to do it because the farda kifaya, the thing is already done. And what the mayyit requires right now is the dua of a person. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, the every human being are in need of dua, and the mayyit, the one who is dead, is more in need of the dua of the people. So let's make dua for him in all your prayers, and may Allah forgive him and elevate his status in Jannah, inshallah. This is what I would advise you. Hope it's clear now.
Alhamdulillah, it's clear, sir. Jazakallah khairan kaseeran. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.
Any question? Yeah, Imam Shafi is married, of course. He had 2 children. They're not famous. They're not famous, but one of his great grandson was from among the scholars. His name is Ahmed, Abdullah ibn Ahmed, something like that. No, they're not as famous as father. Yeah. Any questions otherwise?
Ustad,
Yeah.
oh, this regarding being great, I don't know, being grateful to for our blessings to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Like, for example, last 4 years, I'm living in a flat which has a masjid in the building for the ladies, and it, Alhamdulillah, it's so good, and all the it's so I feel very elated. I can't control my feelings. I have the Alhamdulillah, Allah blessed me with this. It's really, I mean, like, and it's very well maintained. And so, if any guests come, I like to actually not show off. Like, I just like to show them around. See, we have a masjid here, and we are allowed to even sleep here. And so, I don't know how to. I'm not matured enough to handle the feelings of happiness. I don't know if I'm showing off or showing around. So how can I just, subhanallah, be?
See, I understood your question. Is it from the show of? That's what your question is, right? Showing the masjid,
Yeah.
showing your
How
surroundings.
do
Is it from the
we
show of?
how do we how do we react for this blessing? That's what I want to know.
Alhamdulillah.
What should I?
See, first of all, we need to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when we say shukr. Shukr has to be with the tongue, with the heart, and with the limbs. And Allah has blessed us with many things. So there's no there is no problem in showing and thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whenever somebody comes to you, specifically talking about your case. Somebody comes to you, you showing the masjid and locality, alhamdulillah, showing that blessings, whatever Allah has blessed you, absolutely no problem. And this is actually a good thing. And this is you're praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, how do we praise Allah? We don't praise Allah whenever we get something. You know that? You understand what I'm saying? For example, you got a job, you praise Allah. And you got a good wife, you praise Allah. You got children, you praise Allah. Right? That's what we normally do. But we don't praise Allah for what we have already. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. And if you praise Allah, and Allah will increase that. So thing which is already there, He will increase that. For example, you're able to eat a nice food. You're able to eat nice food. And you praise Allah, alhamdulillah, Allah, you enabled me to have this food. And you enabled me to pay the money for this food. So, and I'm thankful to you. And Allah is going to increase that. So if you're living in 1 BHK, you praise, oh, alhamdulillah, thank Allah, I'm able to give this and I'm able to pay this. Allah will give 2 BHK. Allah will give 3 BHK. So Allah has given you masjid there, and you praise Allah and you show it off to the people. Alhamdulillah, see this surroundings here. Allah is going to put you in a better situation. So in every situation, you keep praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how you praise Allah. So people do not understand this concept. They think only when they get, they praise Allah. No, you praise Allah in every situation for what you have and for what you give and for what you're able to do, inshallah. Hope it's clear.
Jazakallah khair.
Now, yeah, Shafi is. Yeah, okay. The question here is that I understood the question. The question here is that this brother, he lived in Malaysia for a few years, and he found the Shafi'i, the people they follow Shafi'i, they recite dua qunut in Salat al-Fajr. Dua qunut in Salat al-Fajr. Is the thing valid or not is the question. See, there is a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that that he never left reciting dua qunut in Salat al-Fajr. But this hadith is absolutely dhaif hadith. So based on this hadith, the law Imam Shafi, he follows this particular thing. So actually, what is correct is you're not supposed to do it. You're not supposed to do it. But Salah is valid. Salah is valid. It is not invalid. Salah is valid. This is something the ijtihad of Imam Shafi. For example, Imam Shafi, if you see, they make masa on the head. You know how? Just like this. Just like this. Why? The water has to touch the shower. And I explained in Bulugh al-Maram also, if you remember. Shower. Shower means hair. So shower is actually not one hair. So if you take one hair, if you do masa, that is also masa. But if you hair means just do masa, that is enough. But the sunnah is actually this much. So some of the ulama, they say make masa till the half, that is enough. Right? But actually the complete is sunnah. Complete sunnah is this. So complete is wajib. So masa, even if you do this, is absolutely fine, inshallah. And this is something called ijtihad, which the ulama, they have made ijtihad upon. But Imam Shafi, rahimahullah, he himself said that وَإِذَا صَحَّ الْحَدِيثُ فَهُوَ الْمَذْهَبِ. And if any hadith comes to me, which is sahih, then that is my madhab. Imam Malik already say, any opinion will be rejected or accepted. Illa sahibu hadha al-qabr. That means any opinion will be accepted or rejected. Right? Except the opinion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So these are the ulama, whenever the hadith comes to them, they accept it. See, it is because of lack of understanding of that particular hadith, or because of they didn't get the hadith completely. That's when they made the ijtihad and qiyas, and they made this particular law. So when we have got the hadith, then we will follow the hadith directly, inshallah. We will not follow what Imam Shafi said, Imam Abu Bakr said, or Imam Abu Bakr or Umar, whatever they said. To an extent, one of the scholars in Fathul Majid, if you read, one of the chapters mentioned that when I say Qala Allah, Qala Rasul, you say Qala Abu Bakr, Qala Umar. SubhanAllah. What is din? Din is not from Umar and Abu Bakr, din is from Allah and Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we will follow the Sahih Hadith. Salah is valid, inshallah. Any questions? Question? Salam. Can you briefly say that question? It's really lengthy. Yeah. Yeah.
The same question someone asked to me, so can I just simply say that the answer is given to that person?
Okay. The question here is that I took a fatwa from a scholar, and somebody else asked me on a similar question. So can I transfer that fatwa to him or not? Yes, you can do that, inshallah. You can do that, no problem. But let me tell you, fatwa, deen itself is not fatwa. You understand? Fatwa changes from person to person, time to time, and situation to situation. But there are certain fatwas which are general. There are certain fatwas which are only for specific place. There are certain fatwas only for specific situations. So if that situation, place, urf, customs, everything is same, and that is suits even for that person, yes, you can use that, inshallah. Otherwise, what you have to do is you can direct them to the scholars directly, so they can ask the question, inshallah. Because they are the mufti will answer your question based upon the way you asked. Okay, the way you ask, he will answer. He will answer. The same question will be asked by another person, so he will base his answer upon the way he asks. So it's very important, that you ask the questions very clearly, and ask the ulama of your native country. You can't ask some of the fatwa of here, asking somebody still lives in Saudi Arabia. No. For example, there is one guy who believes that there are no scholars in India. Okay, I was talking to him, and he says, I called up Sheikh Muhammad Ali Adam al Ethiopi. Sheikh Muhammad Ali Adam al Ethiopi is my teacher in Makkah. I studied from him Hadith. Okay, and I called him, and I was asking him about voting in India. About the voting in India. I asked him, why asking the question that is related to India to a scholar who is in Makkah? Allah, people they do not know as to where to ask, what to ask, and to whom to ask. No, this is a problem. Making sajda separately? No. Yeah, I understand the question. The question here is that, can I make a separate sujood beside the sujood of salah, or sujood tilawa, or sujood shukr, only separate sujood in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? According to the sunnah, no. According to the sunnah, there is no proof that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made separate sujood to make dua. So it would come in the form of innovations. So it is not allowed. It is not allowed. Okay, it is an ibadah. Sujood shukr, it is from the sunnah. Sujood tilawa, it is from the sunnah. Sujood in the salah, in nawafil sunnah, it's there, mashru. But separate sujood to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is something which is not practiced by Sahaba or Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when they did not do it, we will not do it, inshallah. If you want to make dua, you raise your hands, Allah will accept it. Inshallah. How many questions are there? What question? Are the Shia part of the Jew? Wallahi al-Azim, if you read Minhaj Sunnah by Imam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, the Jews and the Shia, they're almost same. Their belief is same, their way of understanding is same, their way of conduct is same, everything is almost same. Inshallah, we'll have a lecture only on the similarities between the Shia and the Jew. Only on Shia and the Jew, inshallah, we'll have one session on this in the future, inshallah. Yes, but I will not say the Shia are from the Jews. Shia are not from the Jews, but they have the ideology they've taken from the Jews. They've taken from the Jews. Shia are they are not even from Ahlul Sunnah. Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, my ummah will be divided into 73 sects. Okay, everybody will go to Jahannam except one. So among the 73 sects, 72 Shia is not among the 72. They are not from Ahlul Sunnah. They are Kharij Ahlul Sunnah. They are out of Ahlul Sunnah. So then next question will be, are they Muslims then? Wallahu a'lam. I do not generalize every Shia as a disbeliever, but yes, their leaders, their ulama are absolute disbelievers, but the common man, maybe they're not disbelievers, wallahu a'lam, because in Masjid Haram, in the Fatwa Center, we were sitting and we used to catch hold of the Shias then, and we used to talk to them. I spoke to many Shias in Masjid Haram who used to come from Iran, and they believe and they believe exactly what we believe. Many of them, either maybe lying or not, wallahu a'lam, but they said we don't abuse the Ummahatul Mu'mineen, the mothers of the believers, and we don't. They only make tafdeel of Ali over Abu Bakr and Umar. Tafdeel means they consider Ali as better than Abu Bakr and Umar. This does not take a person out of the religion of Islam. This is bid'ah innovation. This is something innovation, but this does not take a person out of the religion of Islam. That was belief. So you can't generally say that Shias are, what do you say, disbelievers, but specifically if that person abuses Ummahatul Mu'mineen, make takfir of Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, make Sahaba radiyallahu anhum as disbelievers, that's when inshallah these people will become disbelievers, and they believe, the Shia believe in Quran. Quran is not complete. They believe that Jibreel alayhi salam came down with the message supposed to come to Ali. He went to Muhammad by mistake, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This is what they claim, and a lot of things. There's a huge topic about Shia. So Shia are not from the Jews. They are not from Muslims also. No. So, any questions? Any questions on here live? Otherwise, inshallah, we will see you next week with Imam Ahmed, the last and final Imam of the 4 Imams. And see you. Wa jazakumullahu khairan wa barakallahu feekum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala benefit all of us from whatever the session it is, and spread the message around. Let the people benefit. And with this biographies, whatever we're learning, we inculcate those qualities in us, and we will try to become like them, inshallah ta'ala. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.